Africa's problem could be traced to one attitudinal trait, just one, and that is our lack of commitment to the future. All our problems, poverty, weak institution, lack of development, could be traced to just that one attitudinal trait. We do not plan long term. We prefer quick fixes, short term gains, and temporary solutions. And this lack of foresight has produced two of Africa's greatest challenge. What is that? One is the challenge of governance. Of course, we are all aware of that. We all know how leaders at all levels rule not with vision but with survival tactics. Just that you might not have been able to trace it back to the attitude of the people in general, the attitude of not, you know, having adequate commitment to the future. But we all see how projects are designed to last to the next election cycle, not the next generation. This is why Africa continues to recycle the same problem year after year. Who moves forward with that? How do you move forward with that? But again, there is another challenge, one that not many people would easily agree with, and that is the challenge of entrepreneurship. Africa does not have enough entrepreneurs. Most people confuse entrepreneurship with being a business person. There is a subtle difference between an entrepreneur and a business person. Let me tell you. A business person buys and sells. He works within the system. His major aim is profit. A few years ago, I attended a church program, and the lead pastor then, before the closing of the service, because he wanted to pray for a certain people, and he called out all the business people to the front of the church that he wanted to pray for them. The pastor, Reverend Benihim, so being a popular pastor, of course, we all needed effective prayer. So like 90% of the church came forward. The man was surprised, like, you mean you all are business people? Of course, they are all business people in a country like Nigeria where there are no jobs, but people have to survive. You have to get involved in one kind of buying and selling in order to survive. So, and that makes you a business person. And many people confuses that to being an entrepreneur. But an entrepreneur is different. An entrepreneur builds for the future. He sees problem and creates solutions. He takes responsibility for tomorrow. And here is the truth. The crisis of governance has fed into the crisis of entrepreneurship. Because if leaders are not committed to the future, how can you have entrepreneurs who are building for the future? So having made the distinction between an entrepreneur and a business person, I think I would like to say that I am an entrepreneur, though it comes with so much difficulty. The entrepreneur in me was born during my year one when I was in the university, and I was also working in a haulage company, a trucking company, and there I noticed a problem where a truck would be fully loaded and will move to the far end of the country, say Abuja or Maiduguri, or as far as possible, you know, only to come back running empty, having spent 70% of the cost of running that operation on diesel and wasting it running empty. Right there and then, I knew that that was not sustainable and something had to be done. So I stopped looking at uh, our business, and I started looking at the entire haulage sector as a whole. And I knew I had to do something about that. And there was no other way to go about it except through technology. So, and that was how I embraced a building tech product, even if it was not my thing initially. And this was 10 years ago. And along the line, several other problems have surfaced, and the problems that call for the expertise I've been honing for over 10 years. So I have no choice than to, you know, try to do something about them, ranging from the things we've done, ranges from um, community finance, group commerce, um, social trusts, like I said, logistics intelligence, and all of that. So I would like to use this opportunity to ask you to follow this account and also click on my bio to be on the wait list to some of the things we've been building. And also I try to put something together that will enable some of us to take a collective action, and to also benefit from the process. So yes, you are welcome on board for some of you that would take action, and you'll be glad that you watched this video today in not so distant future. Thank you.